My name is Brian. I'm an analyst at LDV. I'm super excited to introduce our next keynote speaker, Camilo, who will talk about how generative AI and cognitive science will help make ads memorable. Camilo is the founder and CTO at Memorable, a deep tech company behind an AI-powered copilot that enables advertisers to instantly generate ads from text and see how they will perform for specific audiences. Camilo is one of the leading researchers in the cognitive impact space and is a member of a leading lab in this space at MIT. Take it away.
Thank you, Brian. So thanks a lot to everyone. It's an honor to be here. I'm really humbled by the amazing presentations that we've seen so far. I'm Camilo. I'm the CTO at Memorable. And I'm here to talk about generative AI and cognitive science to make ads memorable. So what is Memorable in a nutshell? We're essentially an AI creative co-pilot for marketing effectiveness. We help marketers and designers through a nice SaaS platform analyze their previous assets by essentially connecting their ad managers and understanding what creative concepts work well for them in the past, predict different metrics across performance and branding, things that are easy to predict like CTR and harder things to predict like memory and attention, and finally generate. So utilize all of their learnings through the analysis and predictions to generate new ads and alter existing ads for maximizing certain marketing KPIs. I'm building this with Sebas Acevedo, the CEO, I'm the CTO. We met at Harvard. I then did a PhD at MIT, where part of the research that inspired the beginnings of Memorable was first conceived. We're backed by amazing advisors and investors, and we recently raised a little bit above 3 million between angel round and pre-seed round. We work with top advertisers. We're focusing on essentially the best marketing teams in the world. And right now we have 3 of the top 5 advertisers in terms of volume working with us today. So why are we focusing on this? Turns out that creative is the top 1 contributor to sales lift. There's many different tests and analysis that show this, but no one really knows how to improve it. People are trying many different things, but most of the marketing teams are flying blind or using lots of guessing and intuition to really understand what their creative, how they should build their creative. They're trying different things like spraying and praying, generating many different alternatives of their own creative, and essentially trying to modify all of these creatives with certain very specific dimensions to see which one of them work well. And the other one is kind of a focus on targeting, where they're essentially trying to generate specific versions of creative for specific people in specific locations, things like dynamic creative optimization. The problem with this is that it's very time consuming, it's expensive, and it doesn't leverage some key components that we leverage that are super important to ensure that your ads are powerful. That's where we come in. We essentially ensure that people understand what worked in your previous campaign so that you don't throw away the data that you collected through all these learnings. We predict what will be effective in multiple dimensions. We have models that predict cool things like CTR, memorability, advertisement, distinctiveness, etc. And then we allow people to essentially create and alter given these new concepts, as you can see here. We have 3 key pillars that essentially allow us to generate this, and this is an important part of this talk. The scene parsing and understanding pillar is, of course, traditional. We understand many different concepts in ads. We're able to detect objects. We're able to detect different locations where those objects appears, text, and different things, and extract concepts from that. But one important part of all of this is that we do cognitive impact modeling. We're able to essentially predict whether people will look at certain things and whether they will remember certain visual concepts. And finally, we tie all of this up with generative modelings. We use state-of-the-art models, latent diffusion models, and many others to allow people to photorealistically generate and alter ads to maximize their impact. For scene parsing and understanding, we predict a large variety of things, things like different age groups, objects, more traditional things, but also more specific advertisement components like call to actions, celebrities, advantages and discounts, and things like that. Now, one very important thing that people are not looking at is essentially predicting cognitive metrics. We essentially use research that I investigated at MIT. My lab is kind of the pioneer in this area. And we're able to detect things like whether people will remember a certain ad, whether people will pay attention to it and in what parts. And this is absolutely crucial because it really goes at the core of what marketing is all about. The way that we do this is we collect these large amounts of data from, on one side, cognitive experiments, and on the other side, ad manager data. And then we build nice models that can reproduce these patterns. So far, our database is one of the largest out there. We have 13.1 million human responses across videos and images. And that makes our models some of the best out there. We have 97% accuracy in saliency and 0.03 in memorability, which is state of the art. One key component that ties all of this together is the ability to generate. So once you can predict these cool things, and once you can analyze your previous patterns, you can then generate things that work best, and that you can straight up publish and transform into something strong. And the cool thing is that you can try many different concepts and get immediate results of your ad recall, your attention, your different distinctiveness in contexts, CTR, whether your ad will perform or not, and different things like that. We have many different use cases. Most of them can be seen on our website, but we allow people to understand what works in their ads across TikTok, across Facebook and Instagram. And we allow them to generate things that maximize their impact. And what's the future? So 10 years from now, what I believe will happen is that we're going to be in a world of copilots, and that's kind of where we're headed. Copilots will permeate everyday life and will be very aware of the context where essentially you're working on or whether you're creating. It's going to be a natural communication medium. People will talk to these copilots right now in text, in the very near future, probably all in speech, and in the more farther future, possibly through thought. We believe that there's going to be super assistants that will help in all of that. And what we want to do is essentially in marketing, be the #1 player in this copilot world.